All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog on this glorious Monday evening. I am your host, Coach, and your current booking world champion, and I am joined by a one-time booking champion himself, and a good friend, and a good producer, and holds his stuff down at his job even when he gets dealt with shit. Literally. But I digress. His name is Sir Claudius. Give it up for Sir Claudius, everybody.
Yeah, what's going on, Coach? What's going on, We Book It fam? Yeah, a very horrifying start to my day at work. So I recently started a job cleaning. Basically, the title is building service worker, but it's essentially a fancy title for custodian. And so at my alma mater, University of Illinois Springfield. And so, yeah, this is my fourth week working now. And today was very horrifying because they got me stationed. I'm stationed at one of the dorm halls a dorm hall I used to stay at when I was living on campus. And so I was cleaning the restrooms there this morning. And the women's restroom was very... it wasn't bad, but it was just one stall was real bad, and I was horrified. Let's just say that. But I pushed through. I didn't touch anything in the toilet, but I just kept flushing until it was gone, and I went on about my day. So could have been worse, but it wasn't. So. Yeah, man, that was right. But outside of that, everything else is good today. So, great Monday Night Raw episode, so.
And it's a pleasure to be joined here by our CEO, Virgil.
I come in and do a little quality control, make sure everything's going all good on the episode, and I come in to shit stories. Really, come on, guys, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Hey, man, Coach brought it up. Coach brought it up, man.
Coach brought it up. This man has been through the ringer today.
Look, man, I already accidentally rubbed my little finger on the picture and actually had to see the shit. No pun intended on that. And then, like I said, now I come on to the pod and I'm having to hear about it too, brother. What is happening with us, man? What is going on with the We Book It family, y'all? What's happening?
Coach brought it up. I wasn't gonna say nothing. But that was I was about ready to call Men in Black, man, because that's how bad it was.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty
I was about to hit up Will Smith and what's his name?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. Like I was about to call him up, be like, hey man, we got a little something on our hands here. We need y'all to come get the weapons and eliminate some aliens.
That's funny.
That's the only explanation I can get because that, yeah, nah. Mm-mm. But anyway, let's talk some wrestling.
I just wanted to stop by. I just finished doing Cub Central. I just wanted to stop by real quick and just say have a good show, fellas, and hi everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate it. Hey, what are your thoughts on what's gonna happen with the World Series?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm team Blue Jays all the way.
Are you going with the Blue Jays?
Please
Man,
beat
so
the Dodgers.
Okay, all right. Is there this much of a collective hate for both the Dodgers and the Yankees? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's more Dodgers than anything.
More Dodgers than the Yankees?
Oh yeah.
All right,
because
so
of the all the high profile talent they got on the team.
Well, they're getting ready to collect more. They're getting ready to collect Kyle Tucker this offseason. They're rumored to be offering him $350 million for 10 years.
How much more do they need?
Listen, the Teoscar Hernandez plays right field for them right now, and they're probably going to end up either moving him to DH or going after another third baseman and moving Max Muncy over to DH, or getting rid of both of them because they're getting older. And they're basically what the Dodgers keep doing. They keep funneling
they retooling. Yeah, they're retooling.
Yeah, they just keep funneling and retooling due talent. Now, once Shohei's run is over, the Dodgers probably gonna go broke for a while, and they'll probably be bad for a long time. But they'll have 5-6 World Series out of it before it's all set, before his run is over with. I mean, like I said, you got to think they're headed to another one. They already have 2 in the Kershaw era of things, and they're gonna probably end up getting another one. This one probably from Kershaw after Kershaw, because I mean, let's just be honest. I'm rooting completely for the Blue Jays, but I have no belief that the Blue Jays have enough talent to beat.
Wait, so is Kershaw still technically? Well, he's still technically on the team, right? Since they're so this will be his last. Okay, so this is it for real for him. So okay,
yeah. But I don't know Coach's take on this, and I would love for him to come on to the show and us talk about it. I'm not as mad at the Dodgers as I am at the rest of ownerships within the MLB. The Dodgers are playing the game. They got a conglomerate group together. They for in wrestling terms, everybody, they are the TKO of baseball. They got a group of conglomerate of millionaires together, millionaires and billionaires together, and said, okay, we own the Dodgers. We're going to spend money for this team to be a winner. And with no salary cap, their hands, they're free to defer as much money as they want for as long as they want and keep signing top tier talent. Now, I don't know about the Cardinals, but the Cubs have already come out and say, the Cubs owner has already come out and says he doesn't believe in deferring contracts or payments. Like, if he's going to pay that person, they're going to pay them right then and there. They don't believe in deferring the contract down the line. I mean, Shohei Ohtani has almost $500 million waiting for him down the line that he's going to get paid over the next 20, 30 years from the team. That's why they're able to go out and pay a Mookie Betts, pay a Yamamoto, pay a Sasaki, and probably going to get Kyle Tucker, as well as Freddie Freeman.
Well, they said the Cubs brass said they're going to pay somebody, pay PCA right now.
Good luck with that. They tried
pay PCA right now. That's all I know is real. Yeah,
they tried paying PCA this past off season. They and they're going to try to talk contract extension with him again this season and try to lock him down this off season. But PCA, I think, is playing it smart, and he's going to wait until he hits his apex. And then we'll talk contract extension, because he's going to command somewhere around, easily probably around $300 million, and it'll be the largest contract in Cubs history. I mean, that just is what it is. But yeah, I'm not as much mad at the Dodgers ownership or the Dodgers brass. I'm upset with the other owners, like the Pirates owners, like the Cardinals owners, like not really the Reds, well, kind of the Reds too. Like I said, the Colorado Rockies, all these other organizations that are, claiming and crying broke, even though majority of them are all billionaires, including the Chicago Cubs ownership. They're all billionaires. Only three ownership teams in the MLB are millionaires, but and all the rest are billionaires and up. So, like I said, spend the money. Stop being broke and spend the money. Spread the wealth. Coach, I have taken over your show, and I apologize.
This is probably going to be the lowest viewed show ever. So they're going to log on. They're going to be like,
what is this? They're going to be like, what is this talk about baseball?
They're going to be like, man, why are they talking about shit? When baseball come from?
My apologies, fellas. I'm leaving. Have a good show.
That's what happens when it's playoff time, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens. You have a Game 7 the same night as Monday Night Raw. But let's get this show on the road. Coach, take it away.
All right. So we get our opening segment, which begins with In the Ring getting to tell an update about Seth Rollins' injury, only for the Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman interrupting him with Braun Breaker holding the World Heavyweight Championship. And man, did he look good with that thing on there. He looked like a bona fide stud. But he, as Adam Pearce said, he needed to relinquish the title. Seth Rollins has vacated the title due to injury, and that he needed that title. Well, Breakker didn't take too kindly to that and said, well, what if I don't give it back? To which Paul Heyman talked with him and said, well, then he said, okay, well, how about you respectfully ask me instead? And then he even said, how about you tell me please? And then finally, Pierce got the title after meeting his demands. And then Paul Heyman went on a rant about why he decided to betray everybody and stick with Breakker and Reed, even calling him a bum shoulder bitch as the segment was over. The first part of the segment was really strong, and I liked kind of that. Like I said, Breakker looked awesome with that title around him, and then just the feeling of these guys are beating to their own drum now, and I'm not listening to anybody. And then Heyman's promo started out strong when he asked people, why are you booing us? Which I thought was good because everybody was cheering for them last week, and now all of a sudden they're booing them, which it's kind of ironic that happened. And then he even dropped, I know we're supposed to be the heels here, but what did we actually do wrong? And then it kind of went off the rails there. He kind of lost me a little bit there. But either way, solid opening segment. See, what'd you think of this one?
Well, I'll say this. The reason why they got cheered last week, where were they, Coach?
Perth, Australia.
We know what it is with overseas crowds. We know what it is. So there anything crazy that happens, considering the time frame, the time of the day it was, at least for us or them, like it was a shocker. And shockers that happen overseas they're bound to get their reaction. And so, but now that we're back in the States, it's like, all right, now we're back to normal crowd that really don't really mess with the vision like that to begin with. And now Seth Rollins is no longer a heel anymore, allegedly. So, you gotta have some top heels to boo, So, I guess it's back to regularly scheduled programming. And, you got the faces, that are trying to get at the world championship. And now CM Punk is, the top face on the brand between, him, Jey, and LA Knight. So, I thought the segment was pretty solid. It was fairly typical, everything that Paul said, I expected him to say. And obviously the title being vacated, that was a given. And then Battle Royal. Well, did he announce? Yeah, he announced.
Yes, they did announce that Battle Royal for the winner to face CM Punk at Saturday night's main event would happen later on.
Which I kind of figured that was the route they were going to take. Because that's usually what happens. Anytime there's a title being vacated, they go to Battle Royal route or they'll do a tournament. But the quickest way to do anything, especially when you got a event coming up, you got to get a Battle Royal out the way. And so because they weren't going to just have Punk just forget about Punk that he won the right to face Seth for the championship, so it's almost like literally what happened with Stephanie Vaquera. She was supposed to face Naomi, and then Naomi gets hurt after cashing in, and right on cue on the men's side, Seth cashed in. Now he's hurt, and he had to vacate the championship, and so now you had to have a number one contenders match or battle royal, whatever it was. I think on the women's side, it was a tournament. No, it was a triple. Was it a triple threat or fatal four way?
I think it was a fatal 4-way, yeah.
Yeah, to see who was going to face Stephanie. Yeah, so in this case, on the men's side, we got the Battle Royal. And so basically the same thing happened, with Naomi that happened with Seth Rollins. They both cash in. They won their respective world heavyweight championships on the same brand to be exact. And they're hurt now. And they had to vacate the championship. So it's kind of weird how that happened, but for the most part, I think it gives other people, it gives somebody new opportunities, or kind of gives Triple H a little wiggle room to kind of pivot and give us a new interesting storyline. So I had no issues with the segment and the decision to vacate the title and have somebody earn a shot to face CM Punk at Saturday night's main event.
All right, then we get to our first match of the night, which is a tag team championship match between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day. And man, this match delivered in all sorts of ways. A lot of great storytelling in the ring, a lot of great spots. Loved the near falls that were timed up and everything. My favorite one was the near fall with Styles hitting the phenomenal forearm on Balor, and literally right before the referee's about to hit the bottom for a 3 count, JD McDonough comes in and saves the match, and that was just beautifully timed. The crowd was chanting that the ref missed the count, but no, he didn't. That was just beautifully timed. And then they had another one as well, but it was near the end. Styles nearly won, and Balor almost won, and then Dragon Lee wiped out McDonough at ringside. That left Balor alone in the ring. AJ, Styles clash to his fellow Bullet Club alum for the win and the gold. And we have new tag team champions, the unlikely duo of AJ Lee. Well, that is their name, AJ Lee. But AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. What a match. It was, I loved every second of it. And I even said it in our group chat. I loved this match. What a great way to kick off the action for the night. See, what'd you think of the match?
Oh yeah, match was awesome. Match of the night by far. We saw the chemistry between AJ and Dragon Lee weeks ago, and so I wasn't sure if they were going to pull the trigger and actually put the titles on them, but we see that they did, and hopefully this spells the beginning of the end of the Judgment Day. I know we've been saying that for God knows how long over the last 2 or 3 years. But hopefully this time we can actually have it happen. But yeah, congrats to AJ. He's a champion yet again. After about a good year or two of not having a championship. I think the tag team championships was his last one. So with him and Omos. So
yep.
But yeah, I think it's good that he's a champion again, and hopefully they can get a nice little run through the rest of the year. Maybe probably I'll say they probably drop it. Maybe around Rumble time, or maybe I'll say probably around Royal Rumble. I think they can have a nice little run up until then, until that'll give WWE like a chance to call some of the NXT guys up and really, give somebody else a shot. Somebody new a shot at those tag team championships instead of the main tag teams we're used to, And so, or if you want to transfer Fraxium over to Raw, you get Fraxium versus AJ and Dragon Lee. That'd be a fire ass match too.
I would not be opposed.
Or if you want, to pull the trigger and actually reunite, some guys together and really set the show on fire, or the tag team division on fire, and get Penta and Ray Phoenix back together.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing as well. So I think the tag team division needs to be improved on Monday Night Raw. So if that means some guys got to get transferred over, cool, or traded, whatever you want to call it. I think that would be key. Or if you want to call us NXT guys, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I think as we talked about on the pod, I don't know if you got a chance to see the episode from last night, but we were talking about Triple H, potentially wanting to shake things up, going into the next year, guys getting called up, from NXT. And so I think, I'm pretty sure a few tag teams could get called up, and one of those tag teams I believe should get called up is I keep forgetting the names. The big I'm not gonna call them hillbillies, but like they're like real like
Hank and Tank.
Hank and Tank, yes. That would be the one team I would definitely want to see on Monday Night Raw. And then obviously whenever the Creed brothers decide to come back and do their thing, I think that can definitely be in the mix as well. Yeah, man, the future is bright. So I'm glad, but I'm glad AJ and Dragon Lee won. I think this is Dragon Lee's first championship, right? Tag team championship.
Yes, first tag team championship. Yes.
Yeah, because he's been U.S. champion before, right?
No, he's only been a speed champion.
Okay. Who's wasn't Dragon Lee? Who was it then that was U.S. champion? Damn. It was one of the luchadors that was U.S. champion. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Was it Kalisto?
It might have been Kalisto. Yeah, it might have been.
I
Kalisto.
think yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think those two got a future to do this thing long term. So we'll see how everything plays out. With them as a tag team.
Yeah, I agree. So we get to our next match, which is another championship match. This time it is the Intercontinental title on the line, and it's Dominic Mysterio versus Rusev. As Dom came out with a hot start before the bell, Rusev countered, and as Dom was trying to do his dirty tricks, Rusev kept catching on and getting the best of Dom. It was only when Dom was trying to escape from the match that Penta showed up, distracted Dom, and only for Rusev to get angry at Penta. While him and Penta are fighting each other or having a confrontation, Dom sneaks again the bell hammer into his boot, but Rusev caught him and before he could hit him with the 619. And as the referee was putting away the bell hammer, Dom kicked Rusev in the nuts and hit the 619 for the victory, hit the frog splash for the victory after that. It was all right. It was a good match. I think having to follow that match after that tag team match was going to be tough. And right decision was made, obviously, that Dom still retained. I think these two were just put in a tough spot after that great tag team match, and you have a title change like that. It was just okay. It was just an okay match between the two. And like I said, furthers the story along. We're probably going to get a triple threat at Saturday night's main event between Dom, Rusev, and Penta. But yeah, nothing wrong with that. But it was just okay. See what you think.
Yeah, I thought the same. Wasn't anything to write home about. I kind of figured Dom was going to retain. It kind of adds a little bit more to the storyline because Dom was the one that, pretty much forced Adam Pearce's hand to put Judgment Day in a title match to begin with. and then only for him to, have his rematch against Rusev, and he actually retains. And so now he's still a champion. He's a double champion, while, Finn and JD McGunness are not champions anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we know Liv and Roxanne and Raquel are no longer champions either. So, 4/5 of the Judgment Day are no longer champions. Meanwhile, I'm not gonna say the leader right now, but there's only one guy with championship belts, so he's one of them happens to be a world champion belt. So he's an Intercontinental champion and a AAA World Heavyweight champion. So, Dom is riding high right now, man. And, I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time before Finn is going to be like, nah, we gotta take this dude out. So, the face turn is coming.
Yes, it is.
And it's going to be big time. And so, we just got to figure out when. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens at Saturday night's main event, where they cost Dom the IC title. And so, we'll see how everything plays out.
All right. Now we get to our next match, which is another title match. We had 3 title matches in the first 3 matches of Monday Night Raw. This one's the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch, and started out as Becky dominating, but slowly but surely Maxine was finding her footing and was actually putting a lot of offense together. And I think what really got the crowd going was when she tried to get the ankle lock on Becky. Becky countered that into a disarmer, but
was that you?
What's that?
Was that you?
Yeah, my laundry just got done.
Oh, I was like, what is this tune that I hear? got the singing washer, coach.
Yeah. Hey, you know me. I need those reminders every now and then. But anyways, Maxine pretty much did a handstand out of the disarmer and reapplied the ankle lock. That got the crowd going, and she had a couple of near falls, and then finally Becky had enough and grabbed her title and hit Maxine with it, causing a DQ, and then beat down Maxine, to which the crowd booed the heck out of her the rest of the way. First off, shout out Maxine Dupree. She has been working, and it's showing. You can see the confidence that she's gaining now for her in-ring performance, and it is so great to see. And the crowd is starting to buy in a little bit more, and I think this was really the selling point for her. See, you had mentioned it, that you thought they were going to pull the trigger tonight, but it looks like they're going to wait a little bit, and they're going to make it at a bigger event, probably Saturday night's main event or even Survivor Series. But yeah, I mean, I do think the finish kind of hurt the match in a way, but we know where this rivalry's going, so we kind of understand why they're doing it. But either way, solid match, and Maxine stole the show from that.
Yeah, man, I definitely think Maxine's she's proved her worth, that she's ready to take that next step. It's crazy difference that a couple of years makes, man. Well, maybe about a couple of years now. Like, we're talking about her as being one of the worst wrestlers on the main roster. But she's definitely, you can tell she's definitely worked hard, working with some of the best. As much shit as I give Natalya, what better person to work with and train with and learn a lot of move sets and all this stuff than her, So somebody from the Hart family, went to the Hart dungeon, So she definitely proved that she's learned a lot, and so it's almost like she's taking that same step that Chelsea Green took, man. Took a while for her to, we watched Unreal, the climb to to the success that Chelsea Green ended up getting, becoming the first women's United States champion. She had to fight her way and earn her keep. And so I feel like, that's what Maxine is going through right now. And for her to really get these opportunities shows that Triple H thinks highly of her. And same thing with, Becky. I think Becky is looking at her like, hey, like she's definitely, I've seen the growth. I'm pretty sure like she wants to, if there's anybody to drop the title to, Maxine will be that person, and it'll be a big win for her when that time comes. And so you never know how much this might propel her career, So sometimes even when you win a championship, they can still pull the trigger on a gimmick change. And so I wouldn't be surprised if she does get a gimmick change. She does win a championship, So great match. Great match. I hated that it had the end in disqualification. I'll text the group chat. I was like, yeah, Becky's definitely losing based on how the energy was tonight. I was like, Becky's definitely losing. I'm pretty sure she's heated about what happened to Seth, and her mind is clouded and everything. So I just kind of figured this would be a way for them to, have her lose the championship. But, she lost the match, but she did not lose the championship. So, we'll see what happens the next time around when they face off.
Yeah, yes, we will. It'll be very interesting to see what happens and what they do with the momentum that Maxine is getting. We get to our next match, which is Stephanie Vicaire versus Roxanne Perez. And, this match was, given the time limit that they had, they did what they could. But this definitely wasn't their best match that they have had together. Obviously, they have in-ring chemistry, but the flow of the match just wasn't there. Either way, Vicaire gets the finisher for the win. Afterwards, Raquel comes in to beat down Stephanie. Roxanne joins in, only for Nikki Bella to come out and try and help Stephanie. And at the end of the day, they do stand tall, Nikki and Stephanie, and they hug it out. Interesting that they threw Nikki back in there, but I mean, other than that, this match just was It's a shame, though. I think it was more the time that these women had just to put on the match. I think they were probably shortened, but either way, just an from me on that one.
Yeah, it's always great to see Stephanie Vicaire in the ring. Same thing with Roxanne Perez. Two of my favorites going right now, especially during the NXT days. I believe she beat Roxanne for that NXT championship. I believe. Yep. Yeah, she beat Roxanne to start her reign as NXT champion before she ended up losing to JC Jane. But no, the match is, it wasn't anything to write home about. My only issue was with the crowd. They were counting during the Devil's Kiss, right?
Devil's Kiss, yes.
You're not supposed to count. You're supposed to be like Yeah, he's supposed to do what Booker T does. He doesn't count. He doesn't count. He never has. He never will. All right, so get it right, crowd. All right, I think this is the first crowd that ever done that too. Everybody else did the like this first crowd that actually counted. I'm like, they don't know no better. What was that again? It was Salt Lake City,
Sacramento.
Oh, why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? Sacramento, they ain't been good worth anything, man. Come on, man. Like, especially in sports, like, don't get me started. But yeah, that's all I had an issue with. But yeah, Nikki, I could have done without seeing her. I expect Nikki to turn on Stephanie Vacquer.
Hmm?
I've seen this movie before. You try to be friends with somebody, then all of a sudden, try that way you can get as close to them to the championship, catch them while they not looking, and then try to set yourself up to win the championship. So I think that's what Nikki Bella's trying to do, and we'll probably see that down the line. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe that's telegraphing it too much, but
yeah,
we will see. So now we get to our main event, which is the Battle Royal to determine CM Punk's opponent at Saturday night's main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. All of the men's roster for Raw was out there. I'm just going to go ahead and cut to the towards the end of the match, where you had LA Knight, Jimmy, Dom, and Jay all fighting it out. Jimmy comes over and saves Jay from elimination from LA Knight. Then, as LA Knight and Jimmy are fighting over the ropes, instead of coming to save Jimmy, Jay throws Jimmy and LA Knight over the top rope, to which Jimmy is upset, and then Dom tries to steal the victory only for him to be thrown over the top rope. So it will be Jey Uso versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. This was a pretty good battle royal. I liked it. Definitely had a lot of things. You could have gone either way with a lot of stuff. Like, obviously, you could have gone with LA Knight. Maybe they threw a curveball and throw in a Dom winning, or even Jimmy winning the battle royal. But Jay was the safe call, and I think that's what they went with. It's just going to further along the heel turn that is eventually coming with Jay, and the visual of Jimmy watching Jay and Punk come face to face is probably going to foreshadow that title match. And maybe we're going to get another Jimmy and Jay rivalry, and hopefully they put on a better match than what they did at WrestleMania 40, which was just a super kick-a-thon. But we'll see. Overall, though, a really great Monday Night Raw. A lot of storylines developing. We had two great title matches that happened. Had another title match that was just okay, but still, it was a great show. Storyline advancing. And see, I don't know about you, but it looked like those creative changes took over tonight for Monday Night Raw and kind of settled themselves in. What did you think of the show?
Oh, I agree, man. Definitely, it was, had, at least one shocker of the night, with the tag team championships changing over. And so, and obviously, we knew what was going to happen in regards to the world championship. They did almost get me. I thought Braun was going to go rogue and attack Adam Pearce, but but Paul Heyman kind of talked him down off that ledge. So, but But yeah, just like you said, the whole storyline with Jay and Jimmy, the whole Roman shit, that's definitely starting to get further along. And I think this will culminate in Jay going against Roman. Because it all started with those two. When Roman started the tribal chief thing, Jay was the first person, to go against him, so what better way to kind of run it back, kind of do a full circle moment than to have them two go against each other yet again. But this time for Jay to prove himself, and he's now the heel on this time around. So, but overall, I think it was a great show. Him and CM Punk, they're gonna tear the house down, and so we'll see how everything plays out at Saturday night's main event. But great show overall. I give it a solid A minus. Well, not a solid A minus, but I give it an A minus. only because of the whole Stephanie Vicaire match thing and Nikki Bella showing up again. So yeah.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair, man. I get it. I don't blame you. Yeah, I agree. I give it an A. For the night. I think they did a really good job. Like I said, advancing storylines and in-ring action was really solid. And it's okay to throw in a little curveball like that once in a show, like with a new title change. Don't be afraid to do that more, WWE. Please. It keeps us on our toes. Well, that is going to wrap it up for another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog. If you have been with us through this whole show, thank you for putting up with the first 10 minutes of nonsense that we did. But we did finally get to some wrestling content for you. Thank you once again to all of our listeners that if this is your first time, remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of our content on all of our social media pages. And please give a nice listen to all of our other shows. We have Who's Up in NXT going on tomorrow night. We got C with the AEW recap. We got Fritos with the SmackDown recap. And then, of course, we also have our Sunday variety show that is basically just reviewing the week of wrestling. For Sir Claudius, I am Coach. We will see you next week on another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog.
Peace out, y'all.